let's. Is there a way to? Yep. Hold on one second. And we'll do the other ones here. Yeah, I guess the Instagram thing doesn't work anymore. They caught on to the hack.
Bummer.
Well, it was always like that narrowed off thing anyway. So, all right, we're recording, we're streaming. Thanks everybody for coming on to this Zoom town hall as we Zoom all of our lives away. What has become. I told somebody the other day, it's not so much running for office anymore as it is sitting for office. I sit here, you sit there. This is my office. It's about the extent of what it is. Who we're speaking to, who we're talking to on the screen changes, but same camera, same microphone, every day after day. It is the first time in my life I have wished for a longer commute. Please, Lord, let me drive somewhere. So,
is this your stand-up night?
Yep, this is the stand-up night. It's the low attendance night, so we're just gonna be funny.
Yeah, where is everyone?
I don't know. We had a lot of RSVPs, but yeah, it is what it is. So I guess Emily and I will have a good conversation, and Jerry and my mother, and we'll have a great night for all the internets to see.
I'm reposting in a bunch of different groups I'm in, local, just a reminder. Some people forget, I guess.
Yeah, we have a system where you sign up and then we email you a reminder and then we text you a reminder and then
I know it.
A reminder and oh, the hurting of the cats. Okay, well, my name is Patrick Nelson. I'm a Democratic and Working Families nominee for the New York State Senate in the Fightin' 43rd District, which includes parts of Washington, Saratoga, Rensselaer, and all of Columbia County. We have Easton, we have Cambridge, Saratoga Springs, South Glens Falls, parts of Troy, Brunswick, Stillwater, Mechanicville, Hudson, Kinderhook, Ghent, Claverack. I can't do them all. I wish I could. And I'm running to be a productive legislator, to bring our voice into Albany, to provide resources for our district, to ensure that our issues get a fair shake and get heard, and that ultimately the laws of the state of New York are crafted in a way that work for the people that live in this community, help us grow a better, more vibrant economy upstate, ensure that every New Yorker has health care, make sure that we are preserving our environment and tackling the problems of climate change, which will also help us grow that economy, and make sure that the idea of liberty and justice for all, we try to uphold that ideal as closely as humanly possible, and to make sure that people who break the law are fully held accountable, even if they hold public office or wear a badge, which today, given the news that all of us just got of the lack of justice coming out of Louisville, take a moment of silence for a moment here to honor Breonna Taylor and wish for a more just outcome in the rest of the country. All right, let's have some questions. It looks like it might be a light night, unless Jerry and Emily have a ton of really deep, involved questions, which by all means, go for it. Hey, we got somebody else.
Patrick, I just want to let you know right now, I'm not seeing a notification on the Facebook Live. Did you say you were going live on Facebook?
I'm trying. Let me try it again.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Okay, I just want to let you know.
Yep, so we're on Periscope and YouTube where nobody follows us.
Okay.
Hello. Is that Diane?
Yeah.
I clicked unmute. Now see if these work. These don't seem to want to work right now.
Okay, now I'm unmuted.
Yes, great.
Diane.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I just gave a whole long speech, and apparently the live stream to Facebook didn't, what's the word, work.
Oh no.
And it doesn't want to work right now. This is kind of
Hmm.
trying to turn these on.
Take your time, Patrick.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get started anyway. We've got this on record, and hopefully these will actually go out. Let me check over on there and see what the heck is going on. You know, we pay for the software to be able to stream to a whole bunch of different platforms, and then the ones that are like the most important, where we have all the followers, it just doesn't want to, again, work, which is frustrating to pay for something and then not have it actually be delivered for you, which is probably how a lot of taxpayers feel in this state. We pay
Hey.
for things like healthcare, and we pay for things like infrastructure, and we pay for things like a government that's supposed to work for us, and then lo and behold, it doesn't happen. You know, I heard an argument the other day that resonated with me as I sit here and vamp and try and figure out why this stuff isn't working. That you could make an argument that in the United States of America, we actually pay the highest taxes overall in the industrialized world. And it's not because of like the actual rate that's on the books, but it is because we don't get anything for our tax dollars. Like we don't, like other countries pay higher taxes, but they actually get services for that.
Yes.
Like we pay a bunch of taxes for healthcare, and then we have to go and buy healthcare again. You know, we get a bunch of taxes that are supposed to go towards infrastructure, but then we have to pay the highest taxes for internet. You know, we pay a bunch of taxes for, again, it's just like when you consider that the vast majority of the benefits of government are going to the wealthy and well-connected, and then we have to pay for everything on top of that. So if we were actually getting something for our money, it would be more worthwhile. But fundamentally, we are, again, not seeing the benefits of the money that gets taken out of our paychecks and our property taxes year over year and month over month. So I guess this is just going to be a night where everything just doesn't work. I'm trying to see what the heck there should be a chat button on this, but it doesn't want to give that to me. Well, we'll continue. We can post the video later. So yeah, my name's Patrick. I'm running for the state Senate, here to take any questions that anybody has. We're here with our campaign manager, Joanna, our field director, Will. And yeah, we can talk about anything. It's, as I would say before, it's your time. It's your district, it's your time. So whatever it is you all want to talk about. So I guess we could start with, well, Emily, you want to go? Diane, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Diane.
No, you go first.
And I'll unmute Jerry just because we have a light crew tonight. So just everybody don't talk over each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering, it's kind of a deeper question, more about the Democratic Party as a whole. I mean, I know that you were a Bernie delegate, so you supported Bernie. I was all in for Bernie as well. After 2 primary losses, I'm a little disappointed in the party. I'm disappointed to see the direction that the Democrats are going, trying to win over the mythical Republican that would sway. I mean, I know there's a few Republicans that are planning on voting for Biden. I attended a virtual convention for the People's Party, and it's progressive and they have a lot of good ideas, but they're taking the same steps that Indivisible is taking as far as getting grassroots chapters built up locally. I just don't have time to split my time between that and Indivisible, plus, phone banking and stuff. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on, I guess, more or less infiltrating the Democratic Party, trying to get progressives take back the party that it used to be.
I like the fact that you use back there, because this is, I consider myself a traditional Democrat, an FDR Democrat, a JFK Democrat,
Right.
trying to take the party back to those roots.
Mhm.
So I mean, I was a third party voter. Oh God, like 8-9 years ago. I was a registered libertarian, believe it or not. So I understand where that comes from, but here's where we're at in terms of third parties, and I've been frustrated by the Green Party many times, helping to elect Republicans, and I'm getting a lot of the Joe Jorgensen stands in my comments now,
Yeah.
and my question to them is, where are your town board members, your village board members? Where are your state legislators? Where are your members of Congress? Like, your party has not won local or state office, and yet you're
No.
asking me to support your candidate for president. Like, where's the track record? Where's the infrastructure? Like, it's
Yeah.
for a third party movement to be successful, and not that it can't be. I'm of the belief that you have to win. You have to win regionally. You have to win local elections. You have to build an infrastructure over a long period of time. That's a successful model. The only other successful model of a successful third party in American history was a Republican Party. And mind you, this was the dissolution of the Whigs, the anti-slavery Whigs going with the Free Soil and the Abolition Party to create a new coalition. So it was sort of a restructuring among a second party and not really a de facto third party movement.
Yeah.
And it goes back to our election systems, because we have a first past the post voting system. The game theory plays out that we're going to have a two-party system. Until we change that, that's just the way that it works out. And that's why I support instant runoff voting, like they have in Maine, that I think is really good, and it opens up the process to more people. And it means folks can vote for the person that more, or the candidate that more closely aligns with their views, without running the risk of splitting the vote from, and helping elect someone that adamantly opposes their views. But to obtain that reform means changing laws, and changing laws means working within the party structures that exist that have the ability to influence legislation.
Right.
It's nice to be 100% right and 100% committed to the exact specific things that you want. That can feel good, but ultimately, roughly 5,000 New Yorkers died because they didn't have health insurance last year. Right, 65,000 Americans died because they didn't have health insurance. California is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Being 100% right on your issues and your views, and having a party that's very small that agrees with you, doesn't get people health care, doesn't get us off fossil fuels, doesn't build infrastructure, doesn't create bridges, doesn't change policy. So you can be in the company of people who agree with you 100% on everything, or you can make effective change. And it is an or statement. You can't have both.
Right.
And I wouldn't be so discouraged about the Democratic Party. I mean, yes, the national primary went the way that it went, and I was in the front lines and saw it firsthand. Will and Joanna and I were there together.
Yeah.
We were in the office having a results party for Iowa in New Hampshire when that whole mess happened. Right.
Mhm.
So that primary didn't go
All
very
right. My bad.
well. But Cory Bush is going to be a member of Congress. Jamal
Mhm.
Bowman's going to be a member of Congress. Mondale Jones is going to be a member of Congress. Paula Jean Swearengin has a chance of being in the U.S. Senate, running against a vulnerable Republican in West Virginia. So the grassroots is alive and well. It's moving things in a good direction. Every member of the squad survived their establishment challenger. Sunrise Movement came together with Our Revolution and I believe Indivisible to defeat the first ever Kennedy loss in Massachusetts to preserve Ed Markey, which is also an interesting model, right? Because Markey's not exactly like a dyed-in-the-wool Bernie Sanders progressive, but recognizing the power, the ascendant power of the traditional Democratic Party, as represented by folks like Jamal Bowman, like folks like Paula Jean Swearengin, back the Henry Wallace wing of the Democratic Party, if that deep cut means anything to anybody. I could tell that story later. Markey created a coalition with those folks and won his election and re-election. So it's our power not only to elect better folks, but also to sway folks that have been in there for a while
Yes.
and give them cover, give them their ability to be more progressive. And it doesn't mean we're going to win them all. And it doesn't mean we're going to, but this is a strategy and a system, and I wouldn't call it insurgency. I'm an elected leader in the New York State Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Been there for going on 3 years now. I don't consider myself an insurgent. I'm representing my community. And it just so happens that the Democrats in my community are voting for Zephyr Teachout and voting for Bernie Sanders. So I have to reflect that viewpoint, but I don't consider myself an insurgent. I'm the legitimate representative of Saratoga County in the state party. One of, there's like 10 of us. So I think that things are moving in a good direction for the party. And the more we continue doing this, the more folks have to listen, the more the process has to change. And like I said, I mean, Jabari Brisport's going to be a state senator most likely. And like his election has changed the dynamic a lot, especially when it comes to like organized labor, because this is a teacher and a NYSET member that couldn't get the endorsement of his own union. And their union backed a pro-charter assembly member because they thought it was a foregone conclusion that she was going to win, and their member won anyway. So it's also letting some of our folks know in labor and in the progressive movement that you can fight for your values. You don't have to, play the game that we've been playing, which is
Like
please
cage
hurt
your
us
bets.
less.
Yeah.
Right? That, we'll endorse you. Please don't hurt us as much, rather than give us the things that we need and that working people need. I'm voting WFP this election. I've had my agreements and differences with the Working Families Party, like the Working Families Party endorsed Joe Crowley, but they're learning from that as well. And they were with Jamal Bowman this time around. So I think things are moving in a good direction. If we flip a red district blue, that's going to make it even easier. Because we're showing that things like a universal healthcare system and like standing up for workers' rights and the environment can win in a 50-50 district, all of a sudden that electability argument changes considerably. So, yeah, it
That's
looks
good
like
to hear.
Facebook's just not going to work.
Checking Twitter. We don't have any comments yet or anything. But
No, because like we have followers on Twitter. I feel like I'm shadow banned on there, to be honest with you. I post great stuff and nothing ever happens.
hey, I'm always retweeting.
Yeah, it's
I-
me and Will back and forth, and Emily.
Yeah.
It's like the three of us on there. I supposedly have 1,800 followers, and I
Yeah.
get responses from like 4, and it's the same 4.
I don't know. Their analytics are going like there's something weird going on. I don't know what it is. Well, I think I know what it is, but I don't really know what it is. So I didn't.
Yeah, so I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing. Well, I guess we'll have to troubleshoot that later.
Mhm.
Okay, so I hope that was a good conversation. And I think, Diane, you come from a similar viewpoint. Trying to
Yes.
unmute Jerry here too.
No, I do very much so. And I feel like the first step is to get Joe Biden elected. And then the next step is to hold his feet to the fire.
Yeah.
To keep up the pressure to be more progressive, just as you were
Yeah.
talking about, Patrick.
So, yeah, go
You
ahead.
have a better chance with Democrats than you do with Republicans, a far better
Yes.
chance. So
Yeah.
Patrick told me that the day he hired me.